Hey everybody, this is Kane at Content Harmony, and today I'm going to walk you through how to use the search intent tab on your keyword reports. So the search intent classification system that we developed is pretty unique. Nobody else really has this at the time I'm recording this. And what we focus on doing is looking at the search results for the keyword that you've typed in, and as best as we can, analyzing the types of content formats and other content elements that Google appears to want to rank for this query. So I've got a few examples I'll walk you through. Overall, I would say the best way to think about search intent as it pertains to building a content brief or building a piece of content for that keyword is to treat search intent as a stoplight, red light, green light type of system, where some of these intents are going to be effectively a green light, like go, like you should definitely produce this content. And some of these are going to be more of a red light, or at least a warning that you're going to need a specific format in order to rank well for this content. So I'll give you some examples. So responsive web design examples, that is a pretty 10 blue links type of query, right? We get 3 links, some PAAs, and then 7 links, and then this, people also search for box. So that is a pretty traditional set of results, and it tends to be fairly long form types of content that are ranking. Now we're reporting some fresh news intent for this, which means Google seems to be preferring newer content here. So you'll see things like dates within the last couple of years, 2020, 2018. Those are the types of things, and what I'm seeing here on my screen may be a little bit different than what the tool picked up too. Those are the types of things that just suggest like you're going to need to keep this content fresh. Now, if you see fresh news and it's a bunch of stuff from the past day, week, month, more like a more traditional news result, that's a different degree of freshness. And so that would adjust the type of content we're willing to build for that keyword too. We're also seeing research intent. Now, research intent, or if you ever see general, which is just lack of any special intent, research intent basically means long form content will be good here. Just your normal long form blog post or informational content, that's great. Go for it. So I would proceed with this pretty normally. I would do a long form piece of content, but aside from that, it's going to be pretty standard content marketing. Now look at a term like bridesmaid gowns. Now my first guess would have been to think that this is a more transactional e-commerce type of search result, but if you look at this, what you'll often see is more of a local pack for people looking for local places to look at, bridal studios, bridal boutiques, places to look at dresses. And then we do get into some more e-commerce types of results, but there's also usually mixed in some blog post and article types of results as well. And so we score this fairly strongly for local, mostly as a warning sign that there's a lot of local intent here. And if you're trying to rank with a non-local result, or if you are not local to the user, you may or may not rank well for it. And then we probably didn't see ads on the scrape side, but normally there'd probably be a little bit of a score of transactional here just because of the presence of the shopping pack and these various types of ads. We're also seeing a small research score, which is usually going to be triggered pretty easily by things like fact schema or PAAs. So I would probably still focus this on a e-commerce or product page type of query, but I would be also thinking if there are ways for me to be in a local pack, I'll have a stronger chance at ranking for that type of head term. Now here's a split intent that's a little bit unusual in that the vast majority of the keywords on the internet do not generate this many green check marks on our scoring system. So, scoring, since I skipped past that, we score on a 0 to 3 scale, and 3 means we saw a ton of signs of this element. So if you query Netflix, you get all sorts of stuff. You get a branded homepage result. You get a branded knowledge pack. You get branded profiles like a Google App Store and a YouTube page. You get top stories. You get you get a branded Netflix box with recent tweets. And then usually we've even seen a few other more recent things like top things to watch on Netflix in June 2020 or whatever it is. And so that freshness suggests that first off, brand entity is a big red sign. That means you're not really going to rank for this usually unless you are the brand or the entity. There are exceptions, like if you are yahoo.com or you are Wikipedia, then by all means have at it. But oftentimes a YouTube page or a Twitter profile, a Facebook page, those types of things have a good shot of outranking you, at least for the top half of the page. But fresh news results suggest that even if you do rank for the term, it's most likely going to be through some sort of Newspack type of result. So there's still an opportunity for publishers, but maybe not for a traditional corporate blog or something like that. Now, research, video, transactional, these are more lower level intents that we spotted, but they're worth mentioning because they're there and they may be elements. So here's a good example of a more subtle set of intents. This is for modern house paint ideas. And so if you look at the search query, this is probably a little bit stronger than we ran this. It looks like about a month or two ago. And last time we ran this mega image pack was a single image carousel with one row further down on the page, which we score as a lower intent than one of these big mega packs at the top of the page. There's also some KAA boxes, but otherwise pretty blog color, Bob Vila, probably like a paint website in here somewhere, pretty general set of what you would expect to see. And so with this, what the intent is flagging for us is, one, there's a chance to rank with more long form informational types of content. But when you see this visual element, when it's smaller like this, it means there's an image pack. When it's bigger, it means there's probably a larger image pack or lots of results from sites like Pinterest where there's just clearly visual intent. You need to look at that, and that will affect how you format the content that you're producing, right? Because you're not going to show up for this if you don't have a list of ideas, and those probably need to be visual content ideas to keep up with the quality of everyone else that's ranking and show good user experience and interaction signals. So that's how we recommend using the search intent tab. Now, one thing I haven't gotten into, we label search features down below, and that'll usually mention certain things that we saw. And then we also show Google Trend results since 2004, so that's the longest time frame of Google Trend results available, so that you can see trends over time, right? So here's Netflix peaking in 2012 and kind of leveling out since then, and bridesmaids gowns as a phrase trending downward overall. Responsive web design trends, you see a big peak when responsive web design was kind of a new requirement for websites, and then it slopes off. And so we have a few other Google Trends elements down here. And we'll probably re-release this in the future with some native charts, but for right now, these are natively embedded from Google Trends for that query. So nice and easy. If you want to get more data from there, you can just hop right over. So that's how to use the search intent tab. If you have any questions, as always, just pop into Intercom and let me know. I'm on the other end and I'm happy to answer those for you. Thanks.